Capricorn, happy February 2018. I hope you're doing fantastic. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle quite a bit. I always pre-shuffle, but I'm going to add quite a bit more energy in. So, Capricorn, happy February 2018. Again, I hope you're doing fantastic. Can't wait to see what the cards have in store for you for February. The month of love, I guess, or some say the month of love. Some people really like Valentine's Day. Other people really don't like Valentine's Day. I guess it depends if you have somebody to celebrate with, but then even then, you know, it can be kind of chintzy, but sometimes chintzy can be cute. I don't know. Everybody seems to have their own opinion on how they feel about Valentine's Day. So, but, you know, it is considered the day of love or whatever, however you want to conceive it. So, as you know, I'm going to try and move pretty fast. I keep saying that, and then my reads seem to be, whoa, and then my reads seem to be still longer than I want because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But, let's see here. You had like a bunch just fly out of the deck, so I'm going to line them up here. And go. To shuffle and get a couple more. Okay. All right. So as I said, I'm trying to get the videos down a little bit. So hopefully I don't take up too much of your time. As you know, my reads are based on love and anybody looking to reconcile. Generally, it's going to be for singles love. I've had some people ask about relationships, and I'm happy to maybe try and do a mid-month video where I do just singles and do a separate video for relationships. You guys will have to let me know. Any comments, likes, subscribes, etc. are always greatly appreciated. Let's see here. Because I like to know what you guys think and how you feel. As everybody always tells you, check your sun, moon, and rising, as those may resonate with you more than others. There we go. Last two just popped out. Again, general read, but hopefully it resonates with the majority of you. And this is for Capricorn, love, singles, and I always touch base on anybody looking to reconcile. Let me get your theme of the month card. Ooh, and it popped right out, right here. And you have the world. So, the world is about completing a cycle. It's about completing something and then having new beginnings. So, if you're single, this definitely says that your singlehood or singleness, or however you want to say it, may be coming to the end in the near future, or maybe that's the theme of February, to kind of get out of the cycle of dating, get out of, you know, if you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for something significant, or if you're single, it could be ending a period of drought. It could be that all of a sudden this month is going to bring on a plethora of suitors, people wanting to date you, people that you're actually interested in dating. It's just a feeling of fulfillment and belonging. So the world card is definitely an awesome theme, Capricorn, because that says kind of like the world is your oyster, right? I always say that when I get this card because that's exactly what I feel. And I like the world with this design in the Raven's Prophecy because it is like this open road that's just kind of endless. The possibilities are endless. So if you feel like dating, date. If you don't want a relationship, then just have fun with it. If you want a relationship, then this may be the month that you close that loop and, you know, you end the dating cycle. Some of you may have been like, you know, dating a ton and it just hasn't been happening. And this says the potential for February is real. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, the world is about very similar things. It's about belonging and fulfillment. So if you truly want to be with this person, there is a possibility that you guys could make that happen. On the flip side, it's a completion, which could be that the completion of yearning and wanting this person back may fade through the month of February and give you a new opportunity, new doors, and new roads to take. So let's see what the rest of the read says. All right, so coming into the month, let's see what you have. You have the Emperor. So very strong coming in, Capricorn. This is somebody who is really clear on what they want. They know what they want. They know what they're going for. This is somebody who has a structure in mind. Typically, you know, a traditional person, authoritative to a certain extent. So this is you kind of taking charge if you're single. This is you saying, okay, I know the type of person I'm looking for, so I'm not going to, you know, feed into any bullshit. I'm going to watch the red flags, and I'm going to look at what I want. This is somebody who's kind of able to guide their own way, you know, take the road, figure out the way they want to go. And this is somebody who's very traditional, so that makes me feel like a lot of you are looking for that significant other, looking for somebody to call your, you know, boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife eventually. It doesn't always have to lead to marriage. It doesn't have to lead to kids, etc. But this is somebody who is kind of going for the traditional vanilla relationship. And, you know, if you're single, this could also be, again, just opening up the door to dating, but maybe you've had a chaotic time before. Maybe you've had it just was not a good experience. And this is you coming in kind of saying, okay, well, now I know. I've been there once, and I know what I'm looking for, and I know what I like and what I don't like. And so this is you kind of taking control of the situation and saying, okay, if I'm ready to date again, if you've been in like a lull, here, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to make sure that I pay attention to what people are telling me, make sure that I read the signs. I used to say a lot, I haven't said recently, about how you can really get to know somebody by paying attention to their actions, because they could say words all day, but until their actions solidify that, then it's different. And I kind of feel like you're going to be watching to see how people behave when you're on dating sites or when you're in meetup groups. If you're looking to reconcile, this makes me feel like the ball's in your corner, Capricorn, this month. And not necessarily to contact them, but to make the decision on whether you want to reconcile or not. Some of you have this strong connection with somebody, but you're just not sure that it's the right fit for you, or you're just not sure that it's a healthy fit for you. And so there may be an opportunity to reconcile, but this really says, Capricorn, it's up to you. Now, I'm sure some of you are going to say, no, I've been contacting them, they won't contact me back. Fine. Then this is you making the decision on how long are you going to continue to contact them before you decide enough is enough. If you have been in contact with them, or if they've been in contact with you and maybe asking for forgiveness or a second chance, the Emperor is saying, you know, this is up to you. This is your decision. But if you know that you need things to be a certain way, you know, whether it can change or not is going to be up to you. And I really feel like this is your month to make the decision on whether this reconciliation is going to happen, whether it should happen, and whether it's healthy for you. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. So this is internal, and you have the Four of Swords. So this is kind of a stabbing yourself energy. And I know that sounds weird, and I'll explain. So if you're single, this definitely says that you're getting some much needed rest and recuperation. The reason I say stabbing yourself, so to speak, is because this stems off of things that have maybe not necessarily gone badly, but you feel like you've been fighting a battle. Now, if you're single, it could be fighting a battle between whether you want to date or not. Really figuring out what you want. Maybe some of you have been thinking you were ready for a relationship, and then it turns out that you really weren't ready for a relationship. Or maybe some of you didn't think you were ready, and now you are. But there's been some sort of, you know, hesitation internally, kind of a fight between what you want. Do I have the energy to date again? You know, do I not have the energy? And while you're coming in this month saying, okay, I'm ready for whatever, you know, the world throws at me, whatever the universe has in store, this is you resting up and recuperating, because some of you are licking some wounds. Some of you last year maybe were dating and just got the runaround, or got treated badly, or things didn't work out well. Some of you, it wasn't so harsh. Things went okay, but there was nothing significant. And so now you're kind of resting up internally. This is kind of like taking care of your soul. This is recuperating after a battle. A battle that could be internally on what you want, or externally on the type of people you met, and maybe some dissatisfaction in dating. But I actually like this card because this says, while you're coming in strong and ready to go, you're taking care of your inner self, which is super important. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this tells me that there may have been some sort of battle going on here. There may have been some sort of battle wounds that needed healing, because maybe some very not nice things were said, or maybe, you know, maybe you were dealing with an air sign, because this is an air sign card, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But, you know, this definitely says that you are resting up after complete exhaustion, and it could just be, you know, going through the breakup, going through fighting. Maybe, you know, you guys have been playing games back and forth, but whatever it is, it's like that's done. There's a completion there, and there may still be that heart connection, but you're taking care of yourself. You're not willing to do like chaos or play games or fight any longer. This is kind of you waving the red flag and saying, I'm exhausted. Like, if we're going to be together, it can't be like this. And if we're not going to be together, then I need to move on. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past 5-10 years, it could be childhood. And I bring this up, I don't know, I can't speak for other readers, but I always bring this up because this is either something that's really positive from your past relationships that you want to harness and bring to the forefront, or this is something that maybe you need to avoid so you don't repeat the same patterns. And so it always comes up kind of something that maybe you need to remember this month that's going to be significant this month. Now you have the Ace of Swords, which I love this card because this is a very logic, very clear person. This is someone who, you know, knows where they're going, knows what they're doing. Very similar here. This is a lot of power though. So this is kind of, I feel like Capricorn more than anything, and I always read this for anybody who's single or anybody looking to reconcile together, but I feel like this is more saying, you know, whatever's happened in the past, I have the power to manifest what I want right now. And this is almost like you turning your back on the past, saying, okay, yeah, there have been some crappy times, or yeah, I've seen my parents go through divorce and I didn't want to go through that, or I don't want to go through that, or I've been through different situations. But a lot of you almost took those situations into your present relationships, or into the relationships you've had, not present necessarily, but you know, you always brought, maybe, you know, you saw like your parents divorced and you said, well, I'm not going to do that. But instead, you kind of held everybody at bay. That way they could never get close enough. So that way divorce was never even an option because you couldn't let anybody in to get far enough to get married. A lot of scenarios like that coming into play, like, you know, or it could have been that you watched a parent who, you know, was abused. Maybe there was some violence in your family. And so you always, every relationship you've had, again, there's something here, Capricorn, where you guys have kept people at bay to a certain extent, which doesn't surprise me because you're an earth energy, and earth energy does not lead with the heart as much. Yes, you guys have an enormous heart when somebody can get to that point with you. But this tells me that a lot of you have just held people at bay, saying, oh, I just don't know. There was always a reason, right, that maybe it wouldn't work out. And a lot of that was reflected on things you saw in the past, or things that happened to you in the past, or again, childhood. And the Ace of Swords is really positive because that's saying you're no longer going to allow that to affect your relationships. Like if you have trust issues, you're no longer going to allow the fact that you watched your mom leave your dad, or your dad leave your mom, ruin any potential that you have, because it's not your relationship and you need to trust someone until they give you a reason not to, right? So very good energy. It just tells me a lot of you are blocking out any negativity that maybe you used to allow to come into your relationship. And that's why you're headfast and ready to kind of explore and take over the world, so to speak. The next card you have is your recent past. So over the past few weeks, past month or so, and you have the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Coins. So this tells me over the past, you know, few weeks, past month or so, you've been putting a lot of hard work into everything you do for the most part, which again, Capricorn, doesn't surprise me because this is a earth sign card, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. And so, and you guys are always one of the hardest working signs out there when it comes to money and taking care of responsibilities, etc. The Queen, though, is somebody who's nurturing, who's very generous, who's very practical, who's very motherly. So there's definitely some sort of sense that has changed in you. Maybe the new year, you know, maybe it was the birthday, but something's definitely come to fruition with you to where you're saying, okay, I have been closed off, or I have been a little cold-hearted, or I have had doubt in love, doubt in dating, doubt in all of it. Just throw it out the window. I don't want any of it. And so this month you're willing to come in and give it another chance, right? You're willing to either, you know, start dating or close the gap and start a relationship, or at least be exclusive with somebody if you're single. And so the Queen is saying that there's this side that's come out in you that's more of a, I want to take care of somebody. I want to love somebody. I want to give them my heart. I want to, you know, show them that side of me as well. I don't want to have that side where I'm keeping them apart because I've got this wall built up. So some of your walls, Capricorn, are coming down, especially if you're single. This is you saying, hey, you know, maybe I do want kids. Maybe I do want that family. Maybe these things I was scared of, maybe these things in my past that didn't go so well, or that I grew up with that didn't go well. I want that now. I think I'm ready for that. And that's definitely, you know, showing a change and direction as far as your love life is concerned. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this may have to do with kids. Maybe you guys had kids together. Maybe you wanted to have kids together. Maybe you had stepkids, or they were step parent to your kids. Something here definitely shows a motherly type figure or fatherly type figure. But this says that you may, you know, that may be pulling at your heartstrings. Maybe that will be the rising force in what you start communicating about. Or maybe because, you know, it's been harsh or whatnot, this is you guys deciding to focus on like the kids or focus on other things instead of, you know, poking at each other or fighting with each other. This is definitely a very nice energy. It's a very forgiving, very generous energy. So if you have been in contact, or if the decision is yours, Capricorn, it feels like the past few weeks you've been kind of like, okay, maybe I'm ready. Maybe it's time. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're feeling like, okay, maybe it's time. Maybe I'm ready. Because this energy is just a little more forgiving than you've wanted to be in the past few months. The next card you have is your distant future. So coming up over the next 3 months, and you have the sun, and that's a beautiful distant future to have. This is about hope. It's about inspiration. It's about faith, believing in things. It's about seeing things clearly. The sun is a very bright energy. This is feeling that hope, that self-awareness, that being clear-sighted, finding solutions. So if you're single, there is some sort of hope or faith here that you can find somebody that you truly want to be with. And I really feel like you're setting out this month to exhibit that. You know, again, some of you may not have dated for months, and now you're going, okay, the time is now. I see clearly. And this is more self-aware too. This is you saying, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm valuable. I know where I'm valuable. I know, you know, I'm a good person, a good lover, a good, you know, friend, somebody good to bond with. And for the first time, you're seeing how much value you possess in a relationship, because a lot of you have gotten down on yourselves thinking maybe there was no hope in sight. Maybe, you know, I don't understand what's going on. And now you're coming in a little more clear cut going, okay, maybe I can't hold people at bay, or maybe I need to let the walls come down a little bit more so I can show that softer underbelly a little bit, so that I'm a little more vulnerable, so people relate to that and they feel that love. Because if people feel like they can love you and trust you and be vulnerable themselves around you and feel it genuinely, then they will. And that, you know, Capricorn kind of needs that as well to let their guard down. So I feel like you're in a much better place to kind of say, it's a little more give and take. I'll give a little, you give a little. I'll give a little, you give a little. I'll take a little, you take a little, etc. So the sun is a very beautiful card for your distant future. I mean, what it beams bright with is hope, and definitely two people together. So if you're single, great energy to have for your distant future. If you're looking to reconcile, there is a hope here. I do still truly feel like the answer is in your hands, and the sun is all about solutions. It is literally about seeing the bigger picture and finding ways to compromise and come to agreement. So if you are looking to reconcile and you are in contact, or that is something that you both have thought about leaning towards, the sun is a very good energy to have for that distant future as far as hope and the solution, the ending. So again, it could be about completing a cycle where you guys come together and you're no longer broken up, or, you know, if you guys part ways, then you've completed that cycle. But either way, you still have some sort of sun in your future, whether it's with this person or whether it's not. But I think you know that. I think you're okay with that, because you've gotten over the exhaustion of whatever tumultuous things were going on before, that it's almost like you could go either way. Yes, you have a connection with them, but at the same time, if it's not what you want, or it doesn't feel good anymore, then you're fine letting loose, because you still have this hope regardless. The next card you have is in your recent future, over the next few weeks, next month or so. So this is a good card to have. Three of Cups is about friendships. It's about celebration. It's about having a party. It's about enjoying yourself. So if you're single, this is definitely you mingling. This is you getting online. This is you meeting people. This is you going to meetup groups. However you feel like you're going to be most successful in finding somebody to get along with. But again, it's about building a friendship, which is really exciting, because this means you might meet 2 or 3 people that you think might be good possibilities for you to spend a lot of time with, which will develop into this sun, this hope, this 2 people under the sun together. So the 3 of Cups is an exciting energy for the next few weeks through February, because this is a coming together, but also meeting new people. So I really feel like, Capricorn, if you've been in a lull, which a lot of you have, you will start dating. If you haven't been in a lull and you have been dating, you're coming in this month really shaking things up, changing the way you're going about dating, changing the way you're approaching people, changing the type of people you allow to approach you, because some of you have, you know, fallen into what we all have, where it's like, well, I thought he or she was telling the truth, but they were full of it this whole time. The Three of Cups says, no, this is going to be a pretty good time. This is going to be fun. And you may not fall in love with everybody. You may not even think that some of these people are worth dating, but you're going to enjoy the process. And that's a really important part of it, because the only way to get something positive out of it is to have a positive, open mind about it. If you're looking to reconcile, this is kind of a celebration of you guys coming back together. So I'm starting to lean towards the fact that reconciliation is really possible, but this is a friendship level. Be careful that you don't celebrate too much, because you need to come back together as friends and find some solutions and figure out what's going on before you party it up and celebrate too much, because at the end of the day, the underlying issues are still there and need to be resolved. So yes, be excited. If you guys talk or you communicate or you find you're both on the same page, whatever it is, fantastic. Go with that. But make sure you're still cleaning up any wounds that still need to be healed. But it looks like there's going to be a call for some sort of celebration here. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month of February. Could be the beginning, middle, end. Could be one day. It could last for 4 hours. And you have the High Priestess. This is very good energy. Now, when I say tangible, this is something throughout the month of February that you're going to see. Like physically see. But what's interesting about this is you have the High Priestess, which is generally more of an internal card. So maybe you'll be seeing, you know, the things you want manifesting in front of your eyes, if that makes sense. If you truly want somebody who's genuine and kind, and you bestow kindness and genuine behavior onto others, then they will reflect that onto you. So it may just be seeing what you put into play here coming into the month and being serious about dating if you're single, and being serious about finding the one. If you put out into the universe what you want, this says that you're getting it back, because the High Priestess is somebody who is dreaming, very spiritual, but also allows their kind of subconscious to come through, if that makes sense. So very good energy here. This is a very like holiness energy, but not holiness like God. It's whatever you believe in. But it's knowing that there's a direction, knowing that there's a much higher power in play here, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in spirit, whatever you believe in. It doesn't matter. This just says that this is a divine timing for you, and you know it's coming, and you have that divine timing feeling. And I love that for you, Capricorn, right now. For some reason, divine timing just sounds like it fits you really well. So if you're single, this is like divine timing, your timing. And it's almost like you know it. I mean, look at this. The world is your oyster. You know it. Come on. You have the sun in your future. I mean, it's about to get hot in here, Capricorn. That's pretty good. That was cheesy, I know. Sorry. But the High Priestess is definitely a great card to have, because this is knowing that you're being led down the path you're supposed to be, and you don't have to try and control it, which can be kind of hard for Capricorn, because being an earth sign, you do like to, you know, be able to control some situations. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is the same thing. This is you putting it in the universe's hands and saying, look, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. This is dreaminess too, though. So I kind of feel like at some point you weren't dreaming. You weren't having fantasies about being together with this person again. You had all but given up. And this is showing that those dreams are coming back. And not dreams like unrealistic, but this is you at one point were thinking, could I spend the rest of my life with this person? Could I move in with this person? Could I have a serious relationship with this person? And at some point, something sparked out. And now the High Priestess is saying throughout the month of February, you're going to tangibly see your dreams coming back into a reality. Maybe you guys, you know, end up moving in together. Maybe you take off where you left, you pick up where you left off. And again, I feel strongly that a lot of you will have the possibility of reconciliation. But if you don't, you know you're going to be okay no matter what, because you have the High Priestess here. The next card you have is anything internal you'll feel throughout the month of February. It could be in the middle, and same thing, you know, for 1 day, 10 days, and you have the Page of Cups. This is somebody who is seeing things almost through like a kid's eyes, if that makes sense. It's an innocence here. It's seeing the world without already having those negative feelings. You know, as kids, how everything can look so beautiful because we haven't been tainted by religious politics, you know, negativity, prejudice, all of this stuff. And so the page is very beautiful to have for your internal card this month, because this says that you're looking at things with a much better attitude, with a much more positive outlook, which goes very well here with this Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords is somebody who's saying, okay, all of these things that I've thought were negative, all of these experiences that have brought negativity into my life, or that I've allowed to kind of take control, the page is saying, no, remember what it was like to stick your tongue out and feel snow for the first time, or to feel rain on your face when it's warm, but you feel the cold rain. Things that as a child are so innocent, and now we go, oh, well, there's acid rain, and da-da, you know, like, this is you saying, no, I'm not going to let everything, you know, fog my glasses right now. I'm going to see things. I'm going to see the hope. I'm going to see the way. I'm not going to assume that everything's going to be terrible because maybe I haven't had a great dating life, or maybe my past love life hasn't been great. But for some of you singles, you have had decent relationships in the past. They just didn't work out for whatever reason. And I really contributed to this holding people at bay. For whatever reason, I'm going to say it 40 more times. I apologize. But there really is just this presence here. Every time I think about why it didn't work out for you guys, or for a lot of you, I see like a hand kind of pushing somebody away. And that tells me that you're ready to invite them in. You're ready to take that in, to drink that spirit, to have that positive energy. If you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar. Although this is kids again. So this makes me think maybe you're going to plan a family. Maybe one of you is pregnant. Maybe, you know, maybe there's something definitely here that has to do with children and seeing things through, you know, a child's eyes. It's also very emotional. So maybe you get exactly what you want. If you wanted a reconciliation, you guys may throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm ready, let's do this. But it's a very, very good card. It's an innocence of, you know, if you were assuming the worst before, you're not. If you were assuming they were cheating, they're not. If you were assuming, and again, I know people are going to message me and say, well, Dark Dove, they cheated and they were, and I get it. Like, this is for lots of people and it's general. And, you know, I always want to believe that you guys deserve the best. And so I always want to read this in the side of, that you will get the best because you deserve the best. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And you have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is another Earth sign card, which is you. And this is a very positive card. This is somebody, again, who works really hard. But my favorite part about the Ace of Pentacles is the potential here. It's a prosperity potential, beginnings, opportunity, and not just in money. This is about love too. So if you're single, here's your beginnings. At the end of the month, you're going to feel like there's somebody you can move into this sun position with. The end of the month, after meeting friends and you know, figuring out how to maneuver this endless cycle of dating craziness in this era, there's this right here is potential. It's beginnings, it's prosperous, it's new beginnings. So if you're single, there is a new beginning here for you. You can feel it, and it's gonna vibe really well for you. Again, this is internal, so this is how you're feeling. We'll see what the outcome is here in just a second. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, the Ace talks about potential and also growth. So there is an opportunity for you guys to grow together. Now, I hate to say this again, but someone's having a baby, or somebody's going to get pregnant. You're going to be trying to get pregnant. Something's going on here, because the Ace is also about planting that seed as well. So if you're looking to reconcile, it could be something to do with kids, but it may just be that you guys have come together again and can grow. Now, for the few of you, or those of you that are not going to reconcile, or it's not going to work out, there's going to be a new opportunity or beginning coming your way. But I really feel like for a majority of you, that new opportunity may be just the feeling, since this is internal, that you guys could potentially get back together and hit this. This is full of potential. The next card you have is your outcome for the month of February, and you have the Lovers. Okay, and I don't even know Capricorn, because I couldn't even plan that if I wanted to. The Lovers moving into the sun is beautiful. So, I mean, I don't really have to say much on this. It's about duality. It's about coming together. It's about belonging with one another. And obviously, it's about love. It could be a Gemini as well, because that's their card. And so you could be dealing with the Gemini energy, which is an air energy. And you have had some of the Swords cards. Some of the Swords are air energy. But the Lovers is an amazing place to be. If you're single, you know what that means. That means that more than likely there's love on the horizon. It's possibility. It's a pairing. It's a pairing of values and lots of energies. It's not just about lust, although there is that physical attraction. It's about having the same values, the same morals, wanting the same thing. So in the end, like I said, you're going to have some fun this month. You're going to meet new people. You're going to find somebody that's going to be a new beginning for you, somebody who could be very positive in your life, and you'll move to the sun where you see things a little more clearly. You're a little more self-aware, and you guys have some sort of hope and faith together in a duality of you know, even if it's dating exclusively, something's growing here, Capricorn. I'm going to start shuffling for the clarifiers while I talk about reconciliation. So the Lovers coming up for reconciliation means a pairing as well. It's very interesting, Capricorn, because I really think the potential of reconciling is very big here. However, I also see a lot of potential to find somebody else if, you know, if that doesn't come to fruition. All these cards are falling, sorry. If you guys don't reconcile, if that doesn't come, oh, there's two right there, we'll just take them. If it doesn't come to fruition, then the beginning or the possibilities for new beginnings are there too. But Capricorn, I really feel like if you want to reconcile, it's something that you very well could do. Now, your clarifier for the for the Lovers is the Knight of Cups, which I love. I'll tell you why I think this is perfect for the clarifier for the Lovers. I know some of you were like, oh, it could be the twin flame card, the Two of Cups, and that would be better. But the Knight of Cups is dreaming, it's romantic, it's fanciful. And let me tell you what, the Knight of Cups writes their own story, and that's perfect. This is a dance between two people who get to know each other very well. If you're single, this is definitely where you want to be. You're going to have moments of feeling overly romantic, feeling whimsical this month. And that's big for you, Capricorn, because that's not always an energy. Yes, you're good and diligent in relationships, and you work really hard, and you work really hard at the relationship, and you work hard at work, and you work hard at kids, and all of that. But this is a whole new side to you, Capricorn, and it's really important because it's going to emphasize this love potential that's coming in. And that's very good. It's very interesting, too, because the High Priestess is also a dreamy, whimsical card, and you've got the Knight of Cups in the same row. So always positive here. If you're looking to reconcile, same thing. I really strongly feel, I know you're going to be tired of hearing this, but family, marriage, kids, something's coming in for you. And I feel like it could be a possibility with this person who you're looking to reconcile with. If not, then you're completing that cycle at the beginning of the month. That reconciliation is out the window, and somebody else is coming in, and it's going to be very quick. Now, your final clarifying card is the Ace of Swords, which is very interesting. You have the Ace of Swords here. So, the Ace of Swords here, clarifying the Sun, is amazing. Again, it's about power. It's about clarity. It's about logic. You are not going to allow your past to ruin this Sun. If you're single, you are not. You are going to approach this relationship differently. If you've had trust issues, you're going to trust until they give you a reason not to. If you've had, you know, abuse issues, you are picking somebody that you know the red flags and you've seen. So this is all about having the power to manifest what you want and ending up here. And it's very possible and very positive for you if you're single. If you're looking to reconcile, it's exactly the same thing. The power is in your hands. And I said that already with this relationship. I feel like some of you didn't give it a chance because maybe they did cheat. Maybe they weren't good to you. And maybe, you know, you're deciding that, hey, I believe in them. I don't know. Because I do feel like some of you are almost like you took a long hiatus. It could be that, you know, this relationship ended a couple years ago and now it's just coming back up and you want this person back and you believe that you guys could come together again, then I truly believe you can have that. And if not, I think this is you knowing that you have the ability to find it regardless. I mean, come on, you have the Lovers, the Sun here. This is saying, like, the world is your oyster. I can't even say it any different, Capricorn. Excellent reading. I can't wait to see you next month. Bye.